Hello everyone, welcome to Atal Chopal. I'm your host Sandeep Kumar Singh. So let's get started with today's session. The first topic which we will deal today is resource planning in India. So resource planning is always considered as a complex process and which involves the following steps: identification and inventory of resources across the regions of the country, evolving a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology, matching the resource development plans with overall national development plans. So, if we take an example of coal, there are four types of coal present in India. First is anthracite, bituminous, lignite, and peat. So, we have identified a area where we found out the coal is there. So, we will try to map those areas from X to Y where the coal is actually available. Once we found out that these areas have coal, so we will try to identify the what kind of coal is available, whether it is anthracite, bituminous, or lignite or peat. Once we come to know that which kind of coal is present there, so we will try to extract those coals via our existing technology, or we will try to get another technology which can actually help us to extract those coals. So once the coals are extracted, we will try to see whether these coals which we have extracted from a particular area, whether it will fulfill the development of a nation or not. Next is land resources. If you see this chart, we will see that the majorly our relief features are classified into mountains, plateaus, plain and islands. So around 43% of these areas are considered under plain, where we will find the most of these areas are actually have agriculture and industries. 30% is around mountains, where we will find that perennial rivers, the rivers which actually help in tourism and ecological process. 27% is around our plateau, which actually rich with minerals, fossil fuels, and forest. Next is land utilization. So land resources are used for the following purposes. Under this we have 4 points. First is forest. Second, land not available for cultivation, where we have 2. A. Barren and wasteland. B. Land put to non-agriculture uses such as your building, roads, factories, etc. Third is your fallow lands. So these lands are left for no crop around a season in order to recover its fertility. And the fourth one is net sown area sown more than once in agricultural year. So for example, there is a land where for a season you have grown wheat, and after that you are growing for your horticulture and other thing in the same year. That is your net sown area. Next is land use pattern in India. So in India, mostly physical and human factors plays a vital role, because you already know that India physical features are very distinct, and population wise also India have a huge population. So the pattern and the follow-up for the net sown area varies widely from one state to another state. So how it differs from one state to another state. So if we take an example of Punjab and Haryana, where we will find that these areas are being used more than 80%, and the places like Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur and Andaman Nicobar, it's hardly 10% land is used. So around in the world map, the total area occupied by forest is 33% according to 1952 National Forest Policy for India. So we have to maintain our ecological balance also, so we should not drop that. So a forest should be minimum 33% in India. It can be more, but it should not be less than 33%. So apart from this, land is termed as wasteland, and land that is put to non-agriculture basis also. So wasteland is you're already been considered as rocky, arid is your desert areas are considered into that, and your non-agricultural lands include your settlements, roads, railway industry, etc. So the repeated usage of land over a long period of time without taking adequate measures to conserve and manage has led to the degradation of land. So we have used land properly or more extensively. Due to that, there are some measures and conservation should be taken to preserve those. Next is soil as a resource. So soil is the most important natural resource. We already know that how our life and our humanity is dependent on soil. So there are some classification of soil in India. The Indian Council of Agriculture Research have classified or divided soil into 8 categories. So these categories are mentioned here. In our textbook, these categories been classified in a such a way. First one is alluvial soil. So most of our northern India, entire northern India is made up of these soil, and this soil is also found in the eastern coast areas, especially in the areas where the deltas are formed, like the Mahanadi Delta, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. These areas also we will able to find these kind of soil, alluvial soil. So this soil is rich in potash, phosphoric acid, and lime, which is ideal growth for sugarcane, paddy, wheat, and other cereal and pulses crops. Next is your black soil. Black soil is in black in color, so it's also known as rugar or a cotton soil. It is best for growing cotton, so that's why its name is also a black cotton soil. So this soil is found in the plateaus of Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh along the sides of your Godavari and Krishna Valley. So it is made up of a clay material, and which is also very good for holding moisture, your water content. It is rich in calcium carbonate, magnesium, potash, and lime. Next is your red and yellow soil. These soil are found where we find a low rainfall. So these kind of soil are found in Deccan Plateau, and which develops a reddish color due to the diffusion of iron and crystalline and metamorphic rocks. So these Deccan Plateau have good in minerals. So once these minerals are intact with soil or get diffused with the soil, it try to change the color into red. Next is your laterite soil. So this soil is derived from a Latin word which means brick. So it is also known as your brick soil. These soil are found in high temperature and heavy rainfall. So the areas which have a high temperature and heavy rainfall will find this laterite soil. This soil is found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, and hilly areas of Orissa and Assam. This soil have low humus, so we will found this soil into these areas. Next is your arid soil, or otherwise called as your desert soil, are found in western parts of Rajasthan. So these areas are not actually being cultivated, but with the help of irrigation facility, these lands are started to use as for cultivation with the introduction of Indira Gandhi Canal. Next is your forest soil. So these soils are found in hilly and mountainous areas. So these soil are being seen easily in the areas where we will find mountains or big hills. So this is a map of India where we will find the major soil types, how it is being classified. So here we have India map which represent major soil types. So you can see that based on areas how the soil being classified in India especially. Next is your soil erosion. So in easy language, the removal of topsoil, but there are some factors or activities which includes to the soil erosion, which adds to the soil erosion actually. So human activities like your deforestation, overgrazing, construction, mining, defective methods of farming, etc. Nature force includes wind, glacier, and water flow. Types of erosion: gully erosion and sheet erosion. So in the areas where the clay soils are found, so the running water cuts down this clay soil into deep channels which forms into gullies. The example is given like your Chambal Basin. Then sheet erosion is like when the huge amount or the chunk of soils are being washed away, which result into your sheet erosion. So hey, if you are liking my video, please like the hit button and subscribe will be very grateful. So here we are with the last topic of our chapter, which is your methods of soil conservation. So there are some methods by which we can actually control the soil erosion, like your counter plowing, terrace farming, strip cropping and planting of shelter belts. So these methods are being used in India in different parts of the country, and these methods actually help in controlling the soil erosion. Thank you for watching my video. We will meet soon. Thank you. Cheers.